Hey, Joanna, it's such a pleasure to have you here on the English for Sleep podcast. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you today. We're going to dive into the wild and wonderful world of Guns N' Roses, a band with a story so big it feels like a whole movie. Get ready for some fun rock history.
Hi, San. It's an absolute joy to be here. The English for Sleep podcast is such a unique idea, and talking about Guns N' Roses, perfect. Their journey is truly legendary, full of twists and turns that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. I'm excited to share some laughs and memories about them with you.
So, let's kick things off at the very beginning. Imagine Los Angeles in the mid-'80s. Guns N' Roses wasn't born famous. They were playing in tiny, sweaty clubs, trying to get noticed. It's hard to believe they started out like that, considering they'd soon be selling out massive arenas. It just goes to show, every rock star has to start somewhere, often in a cramped little space.
Exactly. It's like they were these raw, untamed animals unleashed on the music scene. They had this incredible energy, even back then. They weren't polished or perfect, but that was their charm. Their live shows were legendary for being completely wild and unpredictable. You never knew what was going to happen, and that made them so exciting to watch.
And then came the classic lineup. Axl Rose with his incredible voice, Slash with his unforgettable guitar riffs, Duff McKagan on bass, Izzy Stradlin on rhythm guitar, and Steven Adler on drums. This was the dream team, the one that everyone remembers. They were like 5 superheroes, each with their own special power, ready to conquer the music world.
Oh yes, that lineup was pure magic. Axl's voice was unlike anything else, so powerful and full of emotion. And Slash, his guitar playing was just on another level. He made that instrument sing, scream, and cry all at once. Together, they created this sound that was gritty, melodic, and totally unique. It was a force of nature.
Their first album, Appetite for Destruction, released in 1987, was like a bomb exploding in the music world. It wasn't an instant hit, though, which is pretty wild to think about now. It took a little time for people to catch on, but once they did, there was no stopping it. It became one of the best-selling debut albums of all time.
It's crazy, isn't it? That album is packed with so many iconic songs. Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City. Every single track was a masterpiece. It felt like they had bottled up all their raw energy and put it onto a record. It truly defined a generation and still sounds amazing today.
Welcome to the Jungle still gives me goosebumps. It's such an intense song, and it perfectly captured their wild, untamed spirit. It made you feel like you were right there with them in the heart of the chaos. It wasn't just a song, it was an invitation to their world, a world where anything could happen.
And Sweet Child of Mine, that guitar riff from Slash is one of the most recognizable in history. It's so simple, yet so brilliant. And Axl's vocals on that song are just beautiful. It showed that they weren't just about hard rock. They could also create something deeply emotional and melodic. It was a perfect balance.
The music videos for Appetite for Destruction were also a huge deal. They were constantly on MTV, showing off their cool style and rebellious attitude. They weren't afraid to be a bit gritty and real, which made them even more appealing. They looked like rock stars, lived like rock stars, and truly were rock stars.
They definitely had that cool kid vibe, didn't they? They weren't trying to be anyone else. They were just themselves, loud and proud. That authenticity really resonated with fans. It felt like they were speaking directly to you, sharing their experiences without holding anything back. It was refreshingly honest.
After Appetite, Guns N' Roses exploded onto the global stage. They were constantly touring, playing massive stadiums, and their fan base just grew and grew. It was like they went from 0 to 100 miles an hour in no time. Their live shows became legendary for their energy and unpredictability.
They really did become superstars almost overnight. It must have been a whirlwind for them. One minute they're playing tiny clubs, the next they're headlining festivals in front of hundreds of thousands of people. It's a true Cinderella story, but with leather jackets and electric guitars.
And with great fame came great, well, let's just say some wild times. They were known for their rock and roll lifestyle, which often led to delays, canceled shows, and lots of drama. It was like watching a really entertaining but sometimes frustrating reality show unfolding in real time.
Oh, absolutely. They had a reputation for being the most dangerous band in the world. But honestly, that just added to their mystique, didn't it? It made them feel even more authentic and less like manufactured pop stars. They were living proof that rock and roll was still alive and kicking, flaws and all.
In 1991, they released Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, two massive albums at once. It was a bold move, and it showed how much they had grown as musicians. These albums had everything from hard rock anthems to beautiful ballads, proving they were more than just a one-trick pony.
Yes, those albums were incredible. November Rain from Use Your Illusion 1 is one of my all-time favorites. The song itself is epic, and the music video is like a mini-movie, with Axl at the piano and Slash playing that iconic guitar solo outside a chapel. It's pure cinematic rock.
November Rain is truly a masterpiece. It showed a much softer, more emotional side of the band. It was a risk, but it paid off big time. It proved that they weren't afraid to experiment and expand their sound beyond just heavy guitars. It really broadened their appeal to even more people.
And then there's Estranged from Use Your Illusion 2, another epic ballad with a fantastic story told through its music video. It's almost like a continuation of November Rain. They weren't just making songs, they were crafting these grand, sweeping stories with their music.
They also did some incredible covers on those albums, like their version of Bob Dylan's Knockin' on Heaven's Door. They took a classic song and made it their own, adding their signature raw energy and Axl's powerful vocals. It's become as famous as the original, if not more so for a lot of fans.
Their version of Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney and Wings was another fantastic cover. They completely rocked it up and made it sound like a Guns N' Roses song. It shows how talented they were at making any song sound like it belonged to them, giving it that special GNR magic.
But even with all that success, the band started facing challenges. Members began leaving, starting with Steven Adler, then Izzy Stradlin. It was a really tough time for fans, watching the original lineup slowly fall apart. It felt like the dream team was breaking up, which was sad to see.
It was heartbreaking, truly. That original chemistry was just so special, and when key members started leaving, it felt like a piece of the band's soul was missing. It's hard to keep a band together when you're under so much pressure and living such an intense lifestyle.
And then, after the Use Your Illusion tour, the band pretty much went into a long hiatus. Axl Rose was the only original member left, and for years, fans wondered if Guns N' Roses would ever truly return. It was a long, quiet period, leaving many to wonder about their future.
It was a long wait, wasn't it? Almost 2 decades. But even during that quiet time, their music never faded. People still listened to Appetite for Destruction and the Use Your Illusion albums. Their legacy kept them alive in the hearts of fans, proving their timeless appeal.
Then, after years and years of waiting, Chinese Democracy finally came out in 2008. It was almost mythical, like a legend that might never happen. It was a different sound, with Axl as the only original member, but it was still Guns N' Roses in spirit. It was a huge moment for dedicated fans.
It was certainly a different GNR, but you could still hear Axl's unique vision in it. It showed his determination to keep the band going, no matter what. It might not have been what everyone expected, but it was still a powerful statement after such a long absence from the music scene.
And Axl toured with the new lineup for years, keeping the spirit of Guns N' Roses alive. He never gave up, even when faced with so much criticism and pressure. That takes a lot of courage and passion for your music, and you have to admire him for that unwavering dedication.
He really is a force of nature, isn't he? He has this incredible drive. Whether you loved Chinese Democracy or not, you have to respect his commitment to his art and to the band's legacy. He truly embodies the idea of doing things your own way, on your own terms.
Then came the news that shocked the world. Slash and Duff McKagan were rejoining Guns N' Roses. It was like a dream come true for millions of fans who had waited for decades for this reunion. The Not in This Lifetime tour was announced and everyone went wild.
I remember exactly where I was when I heard the news. It felt surreal. After all those years of wondering if it would ever happen, seeing Axl, Slash, and Duff back on stage together was just incredible. It was like the stars had finally aligned for rock and roll.
The Not in This Lifetime tour was a massive success. They played to millions of fans all over the world, selling out stadiums everywhere. It proved that the magic was still there, even after all those years apart. Their stage presence was as powerful as ever, captivating audiences.
The energy at those shows was just unbelievable. It felt like a giant celebration. Fans were singing every word, and the band was just on fire. It truly showed that some bands are just meant to be together, and Guns N' Roses is definitely one of them. Pure rock and roll joy.
And even now, they're still touring and releasing new music, like the songs Absurd and Hard School. It's amazing to see them still creating and performing after all these years. They're like a timeless rock machine that just keeps on going, proving their enduring power.
It's fantastic to see them enjoying themselves and sharing their music with new generations of fans. They've gone through so much, but they've always come back stronger. Their journey is a true testament to the power of rock and roll and sticking with what you love.
So, from being a wild, rebellious band playing tiny clubs to becoming global superstars and then reuniting for epic tours, Guns N' Roses has had one of the most incredible journeys in music history. It's a story full of passion, drama, and unforgettable songs.
It truly is. Their music has influenced countless bands and continues to inspire new musicians today. They broke barriers, pushed boundaries, and proved that rock and roll can be both gritty and melodic. They truly left an indelible mark on music.
And their songs still sound as fresh and exciting today as they did when they first came out. That's the sign of truly timeless music, isn't it? You can put on Sweet Child of Mine or Welcome to the Jungle, and they immediately make you want to crank up the volume.
Absolutely. Their music makes you feel alive. It's the kind of music that you can listen to when you're happy, when you're sad, or when you just want to rock out. It always hits the spot and brings a smile to your face.
Their story is a reminder that even when things get tough, if you have talent and a dream, you can overcome anything. They've shown that rock and roll is more than just music. It's a way of life full of attitude and passion.
And a whole lot of fun. Guns N' Roses always brought the fun, even during their wildest moments. That's why people connect with them so deeply. They never took themselves too seriously, even though their music was incredibly powerful.
And their songs still sound as fresh and exciting today as they did when they first came out. That's the sign of truly timeless music, isn't it? You can put on Sweet Child of Mine or Welcome to the Jungle, and they immediately make you want to crank up the volume.
Absolutely. Their music makes you feel alive. It's the kind of music that you can listen to when you're happy, when you're sad, or when you just want to rock out. It always hits the spot and brings a smile to your face.
Their story is a reminder that even when things get tough, if you have talent and a dream, you can overcome anything. They've shown that rock and roll is more than just music. It's a way of life full of attitude and passion.
And a whole lot of fun. Guns N' Roses always brought the fun, even during their wildest moments. That's why people connect with them so deeply. They never took themselves too seriously, even though their music was incredibly powerful.
So whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering their music, the journey of Guns N' Roses is one that's definitely worth exploring. It's a true rock and roll adventure full of twists, turns, and legendary moments.
It truly is. And what a ride it has been for them and for all their fans around the world. Here's to many more years of Guns N' Roses rocking our world. They are truly one of a kind, and their legacy will continue forever.
Well, Joanna, this has been an absolute blast chatting about the incredible journey of Guns N' Roses on the English for Sleep podcast. You were a fantastic co-host, and I learned so much.
Thank you for sharing your insights and passion with us.
It's been my absolute pleasure, San. Thank you for having me. I had so much fun diving into the world of Guns N' Roses with you and all our listeners. To everyone out there, thank you for tuning in to English for Sleep. Until next time, keep on rockin'.